Hi, coffee time with Brooke. How are you? So, since we have looked at all the things that might stop us and let's go and stop them, now it's time to think about how to live our purpose and our dreams, in what forms and shapes we can do that. When I say purpose, a lot of people are so afraid almost because thinking that purpose should be something that makes the headlines and has to be huge. But I always say it only should include at least one more person's lives that you can touch. So it doesn't have to make the headlines, and it could be even a grandfather taking care of a grandchild, right? That will give him some purpose to get up every morning because he knows that he's touching his life, he's taking care of that kid, right? And for each of us, that means something else, and it might be different in different stages of life. And I know there's two school of thoughts. Simon Sinek, which I respect a lot, thinks and believes that we have only one purpose throughout life. And to me, I have seen so many stories around me. Some people had their like kids killed. They had some really disastrous things happening in their lives, and they changed their purpose. They changed their whole lives because of what happened to them. So I feel like our purpose can change and could change even in the bottom line. We all are different and we bring our gifts to this world and we care about some things more than others. I think it can change over time. That's what I believe. And since I'm mostly in trying to make the work life better and more human, I feel like work just occupies so much of our time. I'm always looking and in terms of work. And when I say work, it doesn't mean something that we get paid for. It could be work like a housework for a wife who's at home finding meaning because she's taking so good care of the family. Or it could be some unpaid work like working for a nonprofit that you care about. So I always put them into four different categories. If we talk about work, paid or unpaid, there are different ways to express that. One is to express it in your like existing job or existing your company in a different job or title if you're unhappy with where you are right now. It could be changing your career and finding purpose in a new career, new industry, new field of work. Or it could be starting your own business to be totally aligned with what you want to do in this world. And then the fourth one would be to volunteer. Volunteer at a nonprofit because you don't maybe need to get to be paid, but you want some meaning in your life. And especially the last one, I recommend that a lot to my friends who retired really early and maybe they don't have enough hobbies or something, but also want to bring more meaning. They want to feel useful. They want to contribute. And I think the best way to contribute is really to volunteer for an organization that you believe in. And the question that I ask them there is that, like, what would you love to change in this world if everything was possible? What is the one thing that really, really bothers you? And I'm sure a lot of us have so many, but what's the one thing that you really care about, that you want to change? So go and be part of the change for working with an organization that does that, and or create your own even volunteer organization or your group or team to work on that. But that's all gonna make our lives more meaningful. And it's proven over and over again with lots of research that the purpose, having some meaning in our lives, like creates more fulfillment, which is the most sustainable form of happiness. Because if you look at the layers of happiness, we have some kind of happiness, which is we have a good life, but as soon as we achieve a goal or dream, we are just next to the next one. We just don't even take the time to celebrate what we have achieved. And the second one is that something that keeps us in the flow is in our life, which is much better. So that means the duration of happiness in the first one is really short-lived, and when you are in the flow, it's more longer times of periods of time where you feel like yourself, and that brings more fulfillment. But the most sustainable form of happiness is fulfillment, which comes with finding meaning in your life. You find that every morning you get excited about something that you're gonna do, and it might be not something that you get paid for or not. So those are the 3-4 different ways to fulfill our purpose and be out there, paid or unpaid, which is going to make our lives much better, and we're going to have an impact on others. So that's all for now. Thank you for listening, and see you next time. Bye bye.